What's going on, guys? My name is Spyro. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video I'm gonna go over how to beat Necron, the floor 7 final boss, as a tank. Now currently I am a very high level tank. I am tank 30 and Catacombs 30. And I'm basically gonna walk you through step by step on how to beat every single step and what your goal is as a tank. And also the main dungeon and what you should be focusing on as a tank player. Now each class has a role that they need to fulfill in the boss fight. And for tank, your main goal is to just aggro Necron, basically. But I'll explain more when we get into the main part of the video. So basically I'm going to cut to a clip when I'm in a dungeon and I've got a party ready and I'm going to be going in. So I'll cut back when that's happening. Alright, so we're here in the actual dungeon now, and I'm going to show you what you should be really wanting to do as a tank. Now, in the actual dungeon, a tank is really not all that useful. I'm just saying, they're not that useful in the grand scheme of things. Like, clearing rooms is very difficult as a tank, so what you want to do is you want to play to your strengths, right? Now, my strengths are... the strengths of a tank is mostly finding secrets, because you can ignore most mobs, apart from skeleton masters. So I'd recommend, if you want to play tank, you want to know secret locations. Because a tank without secrets is like, I don't know, a mage without a spirit scepter or a hypixel. Completely useless. So you just want to head through the dungeon and look for all the secrets. And my main strategy for this floor is skeleton masters are super scary, but those are the only things you should be worrying about. You really shouldn't have to worry about any other mobs on this floor, like as a tank. Just because you have no, you just have such high EHP that it's almost impossible to die as a tank. Well, a tank setup is fairly it's either... So my tank setup right now is full gold ore, full ancient gold ore, and this baby Yeti, nearly level 100. Now this set has only cost me around 40 mil, mostly because I got the baby Yeti and the gold ore and the wither chestplate myself. I'll throw up a clip now of me getting it, just while I clear this dungeon. Alright, start recording in case I get a handle. I just go with the chestplate, let's go! Let's go! With a chestplate! With a chestplate! Let's fucking go! With a chestplate! Chestplate!
You know what, Spy? I'm blocking you.
Chestplate! Let's go! Alright guys, I'm just interrupting the video here, but I'm gonna make a video on cheaper guides and tank guides, but I forgot to record me saying that, so that's gonna be the next video I make. So yeah, I just thought I'd add this little clip in. So now we're gonna be heading into the actual boss fight, which is by far the hardest part of this. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be doing the Terabit Fly Glitch. Now, I would recommend you learn how to do this as soon as possible. You just double jump in the portal, and then you get Terabit Fly. And then you can switch back to your normal boots. Or some people keep them on just for convenience, if you're really high cal. But I would not recommend keeping them on. So right now, I take the aggro of Necron, and I just focus on getting him into the laser. Now here, I did mess up a little bit by not perfectly getting him into the laser first try, but you normally just take his aggro and fly behind there and it should be fine. Now what I do here is I then take Necron away from my team who's on the floor there, because it just applies a lot less stress to them. They have to deal with Necron as well, they just have to deal with that, and I'm able to fly away. Now what I do is I normally camp out near the pillar, and we tend to go to the purple pillar first. It doesn't really matter which one you do first, especially if you're low kata level, because you're most likely going to 3-pillar him anyway, which basically means you don't deal enough damage to the point where he goes into the 3rd stage before hitting him with all the pillars. That's why in the high catacombs levels, you can see people like just hitting Necron with a pillar once and then hitting him a ton, and then he immediately gets hit. And like he immediately goes to the 3rd phase. Now, what you want to do for this phase, it's really difficult, but just fly underneath where Necron is, or like where the pillar is. Like if Necron comes into contact with the underside of the pillar while it's moving, then that, to my knowledge, that is how he gets hit by the pillar, and that's how you hit him with no matter what. Now right now it's really laggy, so it's kind of hard to showcase. Yeah, and you see, look, if he goes up there, that means you've 2-pillared him and you don't need to use the final pillar. But if it gets fully crushed, then you can hit him anywhere as long as he's inside of it. But if it's moving up and down, you can still hit him as long as he's in the bottom part, like underneath the pillar, and he's like going into it from the bottom. So now we're going to move on to the 3rd phase, which hopefully we can. Right, there we go. This server is very laggy. Cool, thank you hypixel, very cool. Yeah, this is by far the most simple area of the boss fight. Like, now you just have to complete the tasks, which are fairly basic. Now I do have a mod called DSM, Danker's mod, enabled, which helps me solve some of these puzzles and just makes them go faster. It just helps like move along faster with the puzzles. Yeah, we're just gonna do Simon Says, and it's fairly basic. You just go through all the puzzles and then you figure them all out. I was doing them, but then you get sent into this final part of the floor, and this is like your make or break as lower kata levels, because it's very difficult to deal lots of damage. Yeah, it's very easy to fail on this stage, because Necron, when he goes to the middle, is like extremely difficult. So basically what I do now is I just try and take his aggro. It's extremely laggy right now. And I run over to this corner. Now depending on RNG, you can stay in this corner or you might have to fight him above ground. Depending on like what your RNG is with how you hit. How he destroys one of the platforms. Now, this guy's standing on top of me, which is making it fairly difficult to aim and stuff onto Necron, but it's also really not helping that I'm lagging, or the server's lagging. So he will then head into the middle. Now this is your make or break stage of low kata levels. This is where most kata levels will fail. So what you need to do on this stage is just deal enough damage. Now this is the same for every class, so this isn't just specific to tank. But you need to just deal enough damage to make him so his radius of his explosion just goes down. You try and make it go down as much as possible, and when he says ARG, in the bottom left here it says ARG, then that's when you can go in for melee. And that's when it allows you to go in and stab him. I think we beat him right now, maybe. Yeah, and there we go. We just beat the floor. So yeah, that's how to beat floor 7 as a tank. I'm gonna hopefully release some more videos like this for the other classes, but I need more friends because I don't know how to play the other classes, and you know, Archer will probably probably be my next one, since I have a friend that has a pretty maxed archer setup, and I can borrow that for doing dungeons with. But yeah, that's basically my guide for how to beat like every stage of Necron as tank. So yeah guys, that's it for the video. Now I'm gonna go just do some more dungeon runs. Well, this is actually like a couple days later because I recorded those clips ages ago and I just never uploaded them. So yeah guys, make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever, you know. Just like interact with the video. I don't really care. As long as this video helped like someone, then I'm happy. So yeah, like if you liked, subscribe if you really liked, and then see you in the next video, hopefully. Or stream. I'm not sure. Alright, so see you guys.